Right, it's Spotify Unwrapped
There
or
goes
something like
Peter.
that. But we end up just waffling about a whole bunch of other things.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
Mike
God.
admits
Lots
to
of
being
bands.
incredibly old, which nobody knew.
Who knew?
Admitted
Hang
to no
around
such
for that.
thing.
Not a day over 24.
Is my fax going off? Anything? The Verge released a list that has us listed among the top podcasts of 2023.
Look, Mike, just because it's your birthday, it doesn't mean you can get all
That's what I
assertive
asked
with
for,
us,
though.
all right?
Don't lie to me.
Sorry.
Look,
big
it's
daddy-
Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Oh, where's the Spotify list?
Oh.
Yeah.
So here's a question for both of you two, right?
Oh,
sorry.
Mike,
you listen to podcasts, right?
I thought we were Call Her Daddy. My mistake.
Oh, no.
We're not on this list.
I can see why you might think that.
Yeah,
Mike,
I get it.
But, yeah. So you listen to podcasts, Mike? Yeah.
I used to listen to podcasts pretty heavily. Now, lately, I've actually been into audiobooks. But I'm most likely to actually download YouTube videos using my YouTube Premium and listen to the audio version.
I do that with YTDL. But anyway, my question for you is, of these top podcasts, how many of them have you heard of? And how many of them have you actually listened to?
Crime Junkie, no. The Daily, yes. I've listened to that one. Dayline NBC, no. Smart Last, This American Life, I've listened to. Morbid, no. Nope. So, Hidden Brain. So the NPR ones I've heard of. Heard of Joe Rogan, but I'm not a fan.
Yeah. I've heard of Call Me Daddy.
And the rest of these have not heard of.
Yeah.
TED Talks Daily. So most of these I have not heard of.
Yeah, same here. Joe Rogan I've heard of just because he's in the headlines. I've never actually listened to any of his. I've seen some clips, But this is the thing. Are we just like hipsters? This is. Are we just hipsters?
Wait,
are we just like not into popular culture? Because it feels like these are the most popular things in the world, basically. And
but I feel like you're kind of a
really know
hipster if, like, you start your day, throw a couple of raw eggs into the bullet shaker, with my kale.
Well, okay, so what you're saying is,
throw my AirPods on, hit
old
Joe for the latest episode.
I did actually have avocado and tomato on toast today, with some corn-fed chicken.
Was it like $20?
No, I made it myself.
To your question, Peter, does the fact that the Spotify top 10 and Apple top 10 have very little overlap, how does that come into play? Because if they really were the most popular things in the world, shouldn't there be more overlap of the two lists?
Yeah.
Okay, but probably a lot of them are exclusive to the platforms, which is why they're so popular, because they get promoted by those platforms and they end up in the top 10 list.
Oh, that's also true.
My point was more, we can do the same thing for the Apple list, but like, what of these incredibly popular things, not the most popular in the world, but just like hugely in the mainstream, how have I not heard of most of them? That's the thing that gets
But you're not a podcaster, right? Like,
no,
but it takes a certain type of person to be like, went on my morning bike ride and listen to my podcast.
I don't know, man. It's like Joe Rogan has done it. He's huge, and you see clips of him all the time.
Right. Joe has broken the barrier. And I see a lot of comedy content in short form on like YouTube Shorts and stuff. I'll see a lot of comedy podcasts. And like Joe, I scroll right past just because of the guests that he brings on will usually be like, and that's how the alien probed my, and then I'll like scroll, like it's just not.
Where do you see podcasts, John?
On YouTube Shorts.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. I think the issue, Peter, is discoverability for podcasts. So the NPR ones I know because I used to listen to podcasts in a podcast player and hear recommendations from other podcasts. On YouTube, the ones that we have heard of are recommended on YouTube as like trending content, and you're gonna see clips.
But I don't
you're gonna
know
see other
them.
things.
I don't know their names. I don't know. They could be on the list you just showed me, and I wouldn't know.
Right, but the ones that break into pop culture, I think, are
Yeah.
more likely to be the ones that are getting some kind of promotion on YouTube and gaining popularity there. And then,
Yeah.
to John, you know,
Okay.
John sees a
Agreed.
couple clips 2 or 3 times, and all of a sudden he's like, "Oh, I've seen this guy before. Now I know who he is." And I think that's the process.
Right. Yeah.
So we get back to marketing being the
Should
real
we
reason
do
anything
shorts?
is.
If you
is
say
the
so, I
mainstream.
mean, that's not where I was going with it. But
If anybody
Wait,
hasn't
gotta
watched
do
the recent
shorts.
interview with Mike, we recently talked to Mike about his marketing knowledge, and it's a great episode. I'll link it down below. Also, do like and subscribe, guys, please. It means so much to us, and we love each and every one of our subscribers. We hunt you down, show up at your front door, give you a big
Nope.
hug and a
Nope.
sloppy wet kiss.
Won't
So
do that.
Yep.
We will not.
definitely worth
be
it.
doing that.
Peter will send
That
you a
is
pizza if
one of
you
those.
like and subscribe.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah. What about like other stuff? Like books. Do you ever walk into a bookshop and go, I don't know any of these? Like, and it's all an airport. I was in an airport recently, and I went into like one of those things, and it's got the top 10 books, and there was 2 of them I had ever heard of.
Yeah, but I
Like-
think so. Partly the same thing with books. The ones that you would know, I think, are the ones that somebody who's on YouTube would like, somebody else would be talking about it. Books are
Yeah.
maybe a little bit different. I think I feel like there's something kind of still very niche about podcasts. iTunes podcasts, Spotify podcasts, Google podcasts. They don't have the widespread adoption that reading, audiobooks, certainly YouTube. So if you're talking about those things, there's just more, a larger community, more people involved. They get more attention.
Yeah.
Maybe it's what's the word? Endurance as well. If we compare them to like radio shows, there's a lot more radio shows that I've heard of, especially in my region in
Really?
the UK. Like,
I don't think I can name a
for
single
sure.
radio show in my area.
Doesn't Weird
Okay.
Al have a show?
I don't know.
No, but
Oh.
well, like the BBC Radio 1 and Capital FM and these kind of things you hear.
I know
Yeah,
NPR.
in the UK.
That's it.
Okay, all right. All right. Maybe that's a terrible example then. Okay.
I just think that podcasts are more niche. I think podcasts are more niche. I think
But they have
talk
hundreds
shows,
of millions of listeners.
but talk shows are not.
Talk shows. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
Right,
we
well,
were
I was
all
gonna end
living
up-
in the same town, I actually think that we'd be doing way better if we sat in the same room.
The delay thing is a problem for us. Like we end up talking over each other because of that couple of 100 millisecond delay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, John, you're saying that if we had kind
Like
of
now,
like
I just didn't hear Mike start talking, so I just carried talking over
a
him. It
back
was
to
really annoying.
office policy where we all had to come in and be on premise in a certain location, that
No.
we could be more
No.
effective and more successful as an organization?
Literally not what I'm saying.
How would we be sitting
I'm
in a room
saying is-
together if we're all virtual?
What I'm saying
is,
is,
workers?
I
if we
don't
were
understand.
kicking it, yeah, okay, I know this term is a little bit beyond your years. Yeah, if we're chilling, like hanging out,
I'm hip to the slang.
Oh yeah, you genuinely. By the way, Mike,
just
I don't know if
aged.
you. I don't know if
aged.
you. I don't know if you realize this, Mike, but I don't know if you did it on
Jargon
purpose.
Of the youths.
But we were just talking about your computer setup, and you said
Yeah.
that you had a certain mother drive. A certain,
Did I say that?
Brand mother drive.
You
Yes,
did.
you did.
I used that
Please
word.
go back.
Oh,
and say
that's
Yes,
okay.
you did.
I missed
And-
that
and
guy.
Peter
obviously.
actually pointed it out. and
Oh,
you didn't
really?
listen
I don't
to it.
listen to Peter while we're
Yeah.
doing the show. Really.
That's
you-
all right. Yeah.
Oh my god, this is what happens when we just don't care about the story. I suppose
It's what
That
happens
was-
when we reach the end of the show.
Like I
It
have a
just
Dell CPU.
devolves. No. Shut up.
It's sitting here next to the CPU's here next to my desk.
Stop.
What do you mean?
Oh Jesus! I hope this.
I don't
episode
understand.
doesn't
Literally
get too many
70.
views.
You're 70. You just took me back. You just took me back to my MSP days.
What are you
Or,
talking
yeah,
about?
the CPU is right.
Yeah.
And you hear him fucking kick it.
Well, hold on. I'm getting a fax. Let me.
Can I tell you? I don't know if I told you this story.
Wait, I gotta hang up.
I did technical support for a long time. It was one of my first jobs for an internet company back in London, and I had a woman who was calling up, and she couldn't get her mouse to work with her new modem and new computer and everything that she bought, and it genuinely. It was so hard because you go through the default. Okay, move it backwards, move it forward, and the thing on the screen doesn't matter. Can you check the cable? Can you check this? And is the light on? Oh no, it didn't have lights. It was rollerballs at the time. And what she was doing was this.
Oh, amazing!
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Because and the thing is that nobody had ever thought to say, no, put it on the table and move it around.
Yeah.
And if you repeat all those instructions without that one key fact that you're supposed to put it on the table, they all still make sense. Like it's all okay. Move it up.
Well,
right,
it's like
it down,
it's
right,
like
right. Now
my
move it around
grandparents. My grandparents. They, and this was for their entire life. They pointed the television remote at the floor. Yeah. It's just how they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I once
if it works,
sold a computer to an Amish family because where I live is very rural. We're surrounded by Amish farms. Not in the house, but they had a taxidermy shop in the barn, and so in the barn they could have electricity. But they'd never seen a computer. A lot of them had phones with internet access, so they knew what the internet was.
Sure.
But when I was setting up the computer, the entire family like gathered around behind me, and they were like, how are you making that thing move around on the screen? They had no concept of what a mouse was. It was really interesting experience. Yeah.
Why is it called a mouse? Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question.
Because it kind of looks like one. Because it looks like one.
The first ones looked exactly like a mouse, and it had a little tail too.
Yeah, exactly.
At any rate, I have my internet now is not AOL.
Did you upgrade to 56? Yeah. What were the AOL like boosters called? You could get 4,000 minutes or something.
Oh, I recently rediscovered this on Discord. Join Discord, link below in description. That AOL was time based.
Yeah,
I didn't know this.
Filthy dogs.
Oh my god! I think I did know this, but I totally forgot.
It was like
that's how long.
Minute.
But it was also within a month. It was like 5,000 hours, but like 5,000 a month, not just 5,000. Then you bought another block of 5,000.
But 5,000, like they were drip feeding the Americans' internet, while Peter and I, we didn't have
unlimited
bandwidth caps. We had 100 KB down. Like, and then I went to America, and they're like, "This is AIM, and this is like how we accessed it." Shut up. The fuck is AOL?
Well, AIM was a good protocol.
Well, at least our phone system worked.
Our phone system worked.
Oh wait!
All right.
We don't have wireless. We don't have Wi-Fi or mobile. Our mobile network sucks because we invested so much in our landlines.
Let's put the one viewer out of their misery.
Bands, all the good bands are taken by the military.
Peter's trying to get out of this. No,
keep come on. This is the not so critical update wrapped.
You know, my first computer that I bought was 200 megahertz CPU. 200 megahertz.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, actually.
What was that? A dual core?
I remember it was a
486
Intel with MMX technology.
Oh my god! How old are you? Did you even have a screen?
Actually, yeah. Hey, good question, Mike. How old are you today?
How old are you?
We were trying to wrap up the show, Peter. I didn't mean to interrupt you. We will see everyone tomorrow.